Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In today's video, I have an exciting product to share with you. Lush and Dew sent me a couple of their seed bank kits, and I'm super excited about it. So you can see here, there's like 32 varieties of vegetables and fruits, and there's their logo right there. So, and this is the product that you get, the Lush and Dew. And let me open up. I'm not sure if these things fall out. Yeah. So without kind of tilting the seeds right there, that's what the seed bank looks like. Isn't that exciting to have that much different variety of seeds? I'm super excited about it. So it is fall, and fall is like a great time to plant. For one, the temperatures are a little bit cooler and the plants aren't as stressed when the temperatures are a little bit cooler. And number two, we get a little more rainfall in the fall, so it's not as hard to like continually keep your plants like well watered for them to grow really well. So that's two great benefits to growing in the fall. So for one, you want to make sure you know your right zone. If you don't know your zone, I am zone 8, Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's all you have to do is hit Google and type in what zone am I, and then put in your zip code, and it'll like pop up and tell you what zone you are. And then second, you need to know, like, whenever you plant something, like if I'm going to plant kale, I need to know that that kale has a certain amount of days to grow and give me the plant that it needs to grow from seed before my first frost. So right now I'm the mid-September, and my first frost date might not be till sometime in November. So for one, like I need to count back. So if I'm expecting a frost in the first part of November, I need to know how many days before this seed. So it might be 45 days, it might be 60 days. So then I need to calculate how many days before my first frost. Now, however, like last year we got an early frost. So I can like kind of pay attention to my weather if I'm going to get an early frost and cover it with some kind of cloth or some kind of plastic or something like that. Actually, my Savannah garden came with 2 different covers, for like one for frost and one to keep like the deer out. Like if I have deer pressure, which I definitely do have deer pressure, then if I know like deer are eating on my vegetables, then I can throw that cover and I can kind of protect my plants that way. So that's like things that you need to think about. So I definitely have time to grow like arugula, kale, Swiss chard, mustard greens, spinach, cabbage. I don't know what else. Oh, maybe iceberg lettuce. I think I have time to grow butterhead lettuce, which is in this right here. I might even have time to grow some zinnias or some marigolds. So you just kind of like need to like count back and make sure you know like if you have enough time to plant that plant. This company is really good about giving you like a little book, and if you open it up, it tells you like what type of seeds are in there and like how much time that it takes for that to grow. So like for instance, a carrot. It tells you how deep to sow it, and then it tells you a little bit about it. So for instance, it says a carrot. Sow seeds 1/4 inch deep into individual containers filled with seed starting formula. Keep moist. Seedlings emerge 14 to 21 days, and then it will grow, but it will germinate between 50 and 85 degrees. So if you are already like in Alaska and it is already 45 degrees, then your seed might not germinate. Just to tell you. Of course, I have a long growing season, which I have a great advantage here in my zone. Like I said, like I can start putting things out in my garden like the end of March, April, and then I can grow all the way till November. So I have a super long growing season, which is good and bad because like sometimes I could put out annuals like petunias like in sometime in March or April, but they're like looking really sad unless I cut them back and then get like a reflush out of that. So it also tells you like this carrot takes full sun and it takes 60 to 80 days to harvest. So it's mid-September, so I would have to have at least 2 months. So that would be September, October, November, mid-November. So if I got an early frost the 1st of November, then I would have to like throw some kind of cloth over there to give me like a little bit more growing season. So there is lots and lots of information in this, and I do love their mission. Let me tell you what their mission is. We want children and adults to enjoy the closeness of nature and find a relaxing refuge in their connection to Mother Nature, or Mother Earth. Mother Nature to me. Mother Earth too. With our seeds and easy grow kits, everyone can be a gardening enthusiast. Planting and caring for your food as you watch it grow creates an invaluable connection to nature and promotes healthier and happier eating and living habits. So there you go. And like for myself, like when I go to the grocery and I buy like a tomato, you guys, there is nothing more better than a homegrown tomato. They do not taste anything like growing your own versus in the stores. Now, this is my first time growing lettuce here at my house. Now, I grew up on a farm. My dad planted like a whole big, huge, like acre. We had green beans. We had, you name it, we had it. And we like, my mom always canned, which now, like, I wish I paid more attention to that kind of thing. And I probably would like to learn how to can just in case I ever needed to. So I think that would be like a great skill to like know and learn how to do just in case you need it. And just like these seeds, if you do not plan to plant seeds right now, like get your seed bank. I have a great discount for you. Lush and Dew is going to give you 15% off on this product, and like just keep it here in case you need it. Like a little seed bank, like a little security blanket, right? Like I said, I am zone 8 and there's 32 great seeds in here. There's even like perennials. So it's got lavender, Shasta daisy, yarrow, tall garden phlox, eggplant, tomato homestead, okra, bell pepper, and then all kinds of lettuce, and then the herbs. So it's like, it'll tell you full sun perennials, nightshades, and then fresh lettuce. And then it's got herbs, basil, parsley, spearmint, sage, and then it's got organic fruits too. Cantaloupe, cherry, plum. Now I know these cherry, plum, and pear seeds would like take some time to grow, but I promise you, if something happens, you're going to be super happy that you had these seeds, and within a year or two, you'll be able to grow your own seed and be able to share with neighbors and share food and have enough food for yourself. And then it's got frost hardy vegetables. So this means like these vegetables right here are okay to get a little bit of frost, like spinach, cabbage, cucumber, and broccoli. And then it's got nutrient companion plants, marigold, zinnia, lemon balm, and chamomile. So that's pretty exciting too. I know chamomile, you can make chamomile tea and it makes you like relax, and I'm sure it's got lots of other benefits too. And then your leaf greens, which I've heard that your own lettuce tastes so much better than what you buy in the store also, which is arugula, kale, Swiss chard, and mustard greens. Super excited about this, you guys. I love that I have this. It gives me like a security. My security blankets right here. And because I do love blooms, like that's my thing. Now, I'd rather honestly grow flowers in my raised beds or even in my cottage garden or whatever. But I promise you, if whatever hits the fan, these plants will be pulled up and I will be planting my vegetables because I need to eat. Like I cannot eat my zinnias or my coneflowers. Like that's something that I cannot eat, but some of them are beneficial. So they also sent me a full companion plant seed bank with 32 organic seed varieties, which is really cool. There's what that looks like. Comes in a really nice box too that kind of houses all your seeds there too. There's lots of seeds in there, you guys, just lots of them. Do you see? So let me tell you what's in this one. So this is full companion plant seed. So if you are planting peppers, then it tells you that you can grow basil, calendula, onion, and oregano with peppers. So I think that's really cool. So it tells you what you can grow with peppers, what you can grow with potatoes, radishes, tomatoes, lettuce, corn, onions, and pumpkins. And then some of the seeds that are in here, just to let you know. So what grows good with peppers? Basil, calendula, onion, and oregano. And then potatoes, beans, cilantro, catnip, and broccoli. And then radishes is chervil, which I've never grown that, lettuce, nasturtium, which I've never done that flower either, and peas. And then what grows good with tomatoes? Borage, dill, parsley, and asparagus. And then lettuce grows, the companion plant for that is chives, eggplant, radish, and zinnia. And then with corn, you can grow melon, squash, sunflower, and cucumber. And then with onions, you can grow beets, carrots, strawberries, and tomatoes. And then pumpkins, you can grow corn, buckwheat, marigold, and spinach. There you go, you guys. So they have a really, really nice website. So go to their website. They have lots of good information too. As a matter of fact, I've got a lot of the good information for this video from their website. So they have like the all-in-one high yield raised bed seed, which is a different variety than I just told you. And like it has 32 organic varieties that grow in raised beds. And then they have a really nice garden planner. So if you're like have no idea what time to plant and when, they have a gardener planner as well. And then they have individual seeds that you can buy from their website. And then you could build your own seeds, which is really kind of cool. If you don't like one vegetable and you want like 5 of some different type of vegetable that's not on there, you could build your own. And then of course they have the zone seed banks too. Okay guys, where to start? So number one, you want to order your seeds from lushanddew.com and make sure you put in my discount code because you will get 15%, and I'll put the code down here on the screen for you. And the next thing you want to do is evaluate your growing zone. Like I said, I'm Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8. So I got a zone 8 bank seeds kit. And then you want to know, while planting in the fall, what is your first frost date? So you can also Google that too. You can Google, say, what is my first frost date in zone, whatever your zone is. And that will pull you up and tell you what expected is. Like we never know. Like last year, I think we got an earlier frost date than we normally do. And like I said, you might get one frost kind of early, and then you might not get another one till like another month later. So you can always like watch the weather and kind of be able to protect your plants too, just from the very first frost. All right, and then the third is you want to make sure whatever you plant that you have enough maturity date for that. Like I don't want to plant anything right here in the fall that's going to take 120 days, because in the fall I do not have 120 days of growing. Now in the springtime I definitely would have 120 days, but right now I'm looking at something that takes 45 to 60 to 70 days worth of seeds for me able to grow right now here in mid-September. So currently right now, today, I'm going to plan on planting some spinach, lettuce, kale, Swiss chard, and beets. And then if I wanted to plant some herbs, I can grow some parsley, cilantro, and chives. I can do all that in the fall. And then flowers for fall, I can grow pansies, mums, and ornamental cabbage. And those 3 plants make an awesome container if you would like to plant for fall. Like if you're in a colder zone, like if you're in Michigan, then you're not going to want to plant like pansies or ornamental cabbage. You might want to wait till like really early in the spring. But for me in my zone, I can plant pansies, mums, and ornamental cabbage, and it will last me all the way till spring, because my spring gets a lot more warmer than someone in Michigan. Do you see what I'm saying? So these kits are super easy to grow, and anyone or everyone could be a gardening enthusiast. So fall is great for planting. So number one, we have cooler temperatures, which means lower stress on your plants. And it makes it much more pleasurable to get out and garden, right? Number two is your moisture is much more consistent, because we seem to get a lot more rainfall in the spring or in the fall than we do in the summertime. So number 3 benefit of planting in the fall is fewer pests. So after your plants germinate and start to grow, you still want to keep an eye on them. So if you get like aphids, you want to maybe put some Nemo on them. And that's just one suggestion. There's like many pests, but planting in the fall, there's gonna be fewer pests. And then like, for example, if you have deer pressure too. So I can like put a cloth over top my container, over my Savannah garden, for instance, to like prevent deer from getting into them and eating my plants. Or you could put like some type of cage over your lettuce, right? So you don't have like your rabbits or deer or whatever you have munching on your plants. So you just may find that planting in the fall might be your favorite time to grow. All right, guys, over here. So this is my Savannah garden, and I'll have my link to the Savannah garden also. I do get a small little discount if you order from me on my Savannah garden, and this is a raised garden bed, and there's lots of benefits to having a raised garden bed. So for one, like you can control like what kind of soil you have in your garden bed. So I went ahead and prepped this area. You guys, if you've ever planted a celosia, you will have celosia seeds growing forever, year after year. So I'm sure that I'm still going to be pulling out celosia in this garden like crazy. This was supposed to be my dahlia bed, which I had a few dahlias grow up, but I had so much celosia and zinnias grow in this bed from last year's seed that it kind of overtook. And I should have been more vigilant about coming out here and looking after this bed, but you know, life gets busy and I did not. So that's like, I'm guilty of that. So you want to make sure like your garden bed is prepped. So I got all the weeds and every other plant out of this container that I want to, except for a couple little dahlias. And then you want to like make sure your soil is amended well. So I have right here some black cow, which is just like compost manure, right? Cow manure. So I'm going to like put this on my bed and mend my soil because all the plants that I had in here prior took out all the nutrients. So I'm going to add nutrients to my garden. Secondly, I'm going to add some espoma, which this is Biotone. I love this product, and I'm going to show you just a little clip of my garden as well. I do not plant anything, and I do mean not anything, without my Biotone because this makes the root start stronger, and it's great. So I love my Biotone from espoma. It's a little bit stinky, but great stuff. And then after putting my Biotone in there, I'm just going to kind of mix it into the soil a little bit. I do have drip tubing in here, if you can see, and I'll show you a little bit closer in just a minute when we plant our seeds. All right, guys, now that we have our raised bed already prepped, now we're going to plant some seeds. And I'm super excited to bring you on this journey with me. And by the end of this video, I know that you are going to want to order your zone for your seed bank. I'm taking my gloves off because it's going to be really hard to handle these seeds. I'm going to open up here, and this tells you exactly. I had one gorgeous zinnia this morning that I meant to bring inside, and look. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so this is my seed bank. So I'm definitely going to plant some lettuce. So I'm going to start here with my leaf greens, and I'm going to do arugula, kale, Swiss chard, and mustard green. So I got 4 rows, and I'm going to plant these 4 plants right here. So this is my arugula. So I'm going to carefully open this up, and then you can see the seeds in there, right there. So I don't know how many seeds there is, but there's lots of seeds here. So I don't want to like use every one of them. I want to save some for the future. So we're just going to see if I can plant maybe 4 or 5 of these little seeds. And then I'm going to put the top back on my arugula and put it back into my little seed bank. The next is kale. I'm going to take the little top off. Be careful not to spill it. Look at all those little seeds in there. And then I'm going to put my gloves back on and just kind of cover this back up. And we're going to make sure we water it in really good. If I needed to, if we don't get that much rain, I can come back and add some more 1/4 inch tubing onto this 1/2 inch tubing that I already have. But I plan on coming down here and kind of keeping an eye on these vegetables in the next couple of weeks to make sure they germinate. I'm going to go ahead and plant a few marigolds and zinnias and chamomile just to see if I can get them to grow. Most of you know what zinnia seeds look like. I'm sorry, those were marigold. And these are zinnia. Yeah. And then next I'm going to try the butterhead lettuce. And then this one right here is New Fire red lettuce. And then lastly, spinach. Okay, so we're all done planting and I'm going to come back and water these in really good. I think we're going to get some rain tomorrow, which rainwater is like extra special. I'm not sure what's in rainwater more so than our water, but it really does like a big difference when we get our own natural rain. So we're supposed to rain next couple of days, I think. And before I come back and start watering this in, I'm going to share with you all my lovely gardens. All right, guys, if you're new to my garden channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to turn the camera around and show you my beautiful gardens. All right, guys, so this is the start of my cottage garden. And I do videos every single month of my garden tour. Like I said, this is my cottage garden. I do lots of containers. And of course, I do the millionaire because I love the hummingbirds, but the bees love this too, as you can see. Candy corn spirea down there is looking really pretty in September. It's a little windy today, so you might hear my wind chimes. I have some dahlias down here that you may have seen next to my Savannah garden down here that are looking beautiful. I might say, finally, they're looking beautiful. And there's the Savannah bed that we just planted in, and you can see that it comes with a trellis, and that's what holds the netting to like keep deer back or for frost. It came with 2 different nettings. And this is my rose garden. This is more my formal garden. And when I went to Austria, this garden, their gardens there, their formal gardens, kind of inspired me to do this. So I've got 4 quadrants, and I have David Austin roses in each quadrant. For the roses, May, the end of April to May is my favorite time for this garden. But they do rebloom. As you can see, this Gabrielle oak over here is looking absolutely gorgeous still. And they do like some of the cooler nights that we're getting right now. And then I have a hydrangea garden. This is a pinnacle hydrangea called limelight hydrangea. And it does really good in the sun, and it does really good here in my zone. Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8. Looks beautiful. That in the backdrop are the emerald green arborvitaes. And then on the side garden, I have a little arbor here with a climbing rose that I just planted. This is a real pretty container that I did last Halloween, if you want to look at that video. And then these are all the dahlias that I grew from Floret Farm, all on this side right here, along with some zinnias and then more celosia. Look at that big old bee there. So I do want to share, this is what I mean when I plant with that biotone. Everything gets the biotone, whether it is an annual, a perennial, If I grew it from seed and I planted into this garden like this eucalyptus and this lisianthus, I always make sure I add the biotone. Now, can you believe it? This grew from 2 years ago. Didn't grow last year, but it grew from 2 years ago. Isn't that crazy? So that's what the side garden looks like. I call this my skinny side garden. And I do it a little bit different each year. This year I decided to do it with all the seeds that I grew. And that was an experiment. It was my very first time with my seed starting setup. And I have videos on all that. As you can see, I love making my yard look great. And I use the Anderson products on that. And I'll list them in my description if you're interested. But you may want to start early next year. And the sun impatiens do really good here. They look awesome. They do like consistent water though, which everything here is on drip, just like I had in my raised bed. That potato vine, guys, I don't know about it. We might do something different next year. This plant was the cashmere pink verbena. It was new last year, and gosh, you guys, that is an absolute workhorse. The storm came and blew all this over, and I cut it all the way back maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, and look how it has flushed back and already getting blooms from it. Is that not crazy with that hardy hibiscus? And then this is my west side garden, and we're in between 2 houses right here. And this area kept on wanting to erode, so I developed this garden for my erosion. And I have just lots of stuff in here, and I've been taking stuff out and replanting and kind of redesigning this garden. It's okay to do that, guys. If you find something that doesn't bring you joy, plant something that does bring you joy. Those are the pugster buddleia. That's the blue. Then I have some roses, more roses down here. Like for instance, that's not bringing me joy. So I'm gonna plant something that does bring me joy. I love all the pollinators in the garden. I love seeing butterflies, bees, all the little scurry things. Kind of mixes in there. Where are you, little dude? Right there. Birds, butterflies. I love everything. And this is the other side of the cottage garden. All right, so that's my hose reel. I have 2 hose reels. I've got one from Giraffe and one from Vigo Garden. I like both. My Vigo Garden one is on the other side. So we're going to take this water hose down. This. Down to the raised bed, which is all the way at the end of there. And we're going to get those seeds a good start of water. This is a retractable reel, which is awesome, you guys. If you don't have one, you need one. I'm excited to see these seeds grow. If you have any questions, you can comment me and I'll try to find out for you. If I don't know it, I'll look it up. I'm excited to see these seeds grow. All right, guys, did I not tell you by the time we got done with this video, you will want one of your Lush and Dew, your own zone seed bank. Like I said, mine was zone 8. You can get any zone. Like I said, just find out what your zone is from like Google, put in your zip code, and you will find out what your zone is. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye, friends.